Hi everyone! Today we're going to be making a classic origami shape, which I was very reminded of lately since I've been going back to Bigland Green. Crows. We've got lots of crows flying around lately, so I thought we'd make this one. It uses a lot of the same folds and shapes that we've done before, but adds some extra little tricks and challenges. Plus, they stand up on their own, which is really nice. Now, if you have black and white paper or just black paper, then that's kind of really classic for our little crow. But, you know, it's your shape. Why not make a multicolored crow? I'm going to be using green today, so you can see it's not really a big deal. As always, we're going to need a square of paper. And lesson 1 shows you how to make a square of paper. So let's get started. Your paper might have one plain side and one coloured side, or it might be coloured on both sides. If you do have a coloured side, have that on the outside as you fold corner to corner to make a triangle. We're going to have lots of folds piled on top of each other for this crow, so every fold you do really needs to be smoothed down and sharp. Otherwise you're going to create too much bulk and it'll be really hard to work with. So we folded corner to corner to make a big triangle. Now we're going to fold corner to corner again to halve that and make a smaller triangle. Take your time to line up your corners. And smooth down your edges. There we go. So we fold it in half twice, which makes a smaller triangle. Now we're going to open that out because we actually want that first big triangle we had. So it's just halved at the moment, our piece of paper. And now we're going to make what's called a square fold. So you're going to have to pick up one of the corners and kind of holding it down so it's flat along this crease we made. Going to lift it and open it out. So it's kind of like a little envelope. We're opening it out, and then we're going to just pushing it there, and then fold it down. Okay. Now what I find easier to help with my square fold, particularly if I've got nice thin paper like this, is I folded it in half like I meant to, but then I even folded it again. This helps when I'm opening this out that I now have these creases here which show me where the paper's meant to lie flat. Once I've opened and made, do you see how I've now made a new square? That's why it's called a square fold. So I've taken my triangle, opened it out like an envelope, and made a square. You're going to have to flip this over and do this again. So we take this long triangle that's pointing out, we hold down where this fold is and open it up. I find it easier to really kind of stick my finger in and just poke out this corner up here. Open it out, a nice little envelope, use the creases that I've made already, and then flatten it down. Great, that is our square fold. Good job. Now we're going to create a shape that I think we did with the butterfly as well. I think of it as the kite shape. We've got our square all folded on top of each other, and we've got these little flaps that come up. Try and have the point where all of the flaps connect at the top and all of the open bits at the bottom. So take one corner, leaving the other one behind, and bring it into this nice central line we have. Gives us a nice little guideline to try and line this up really straight. Honestly, you might be able to see that my lines are not perfectly straight. I've got little bits of white showing here. That's partly because it's actually a bit trickier to talk this through and do it at the same time. I'm not really able to focus as much while I'm talking and doing. So I recommend that while you do this, you just take a moment to be quiet and calm and focus on your hands. We fold both of these corners in. Can you see what I mean about the kite shape? Looks a bit like an old-fashioned kite that you'd fly in the sky. Like before, we're going to flip this over and do the same thing again. So this time we're leaving a nice empty space because we've brought the final corners in. Really pull everything together and try and line it up nice and straight. Oof, that's not my best fold. Never mind. It will still be a pretty good little green crow. So this top part of our nice little flappy kite, when everything's all folded up, is going to fold forward here, like we're tucking everything away. But it won't stay like that. I'm going to open this out. Open these out because we've created some really useful creases here now. This triangle of creases is going to help us to create a sort of reverse fold where we lift up this bit, not the whole lot, just the top layer. We lift up this bit using these creases that we've made to help us. I'm going to pull it back. So the triangle stays down, we'll pull this back to meet that top triangle and start reversing these little folds so that these sides can tuck in. Okay, one side, pull in the other one. There we go. Now, flatten that all down. This is a good chance to just fix any of, if you're anything like me, those folds that could have been a bit neater. There we go. Make them lie nice and flat. These sides should hopefully meet somewhere in the middle. Lovely. Now, just like before, we're going to do that again on the back. Okay. You can already see that this shape gives us lots of chances to practice the different tricky folds because most of the things that we're doing, we're flipping over and reversing. So again, our little triangle stays down. We lift this flap, leaving behind the undersides, bring it back, push out these flaps, and let the creases help ease the sides in. So now we should have on both sides a long diamond with two funny little legs. Talking of, these are actually going to be our crow legs. They don't look like it now, but I promise they are. So, again, make sure everything's lying nice and flat. And we're going to do some little folds on our legs. Pick up one and fold it up so that this outside edge lines up here. So this one and this one. Up to the crease or the corner. Push it down. Give it a good old fold. We're gathering a bit of bulk here now. And do the same on the other side. We don't want asymmetrical legs. Asymmetrical meaning not symmetrical at all. We want nice symmetrical legs. So you poke up this way and you're going to unfold that because that's not how they're staying forever. And instead you're going to fold so that these little feet are poking out in a way that is perpendicular to the middle line. So perpendicular means at a right angle. So we've got this middle line up here and we want the bottom of our legs to be at a sort of right angle. Now this is quite tricky. You just kind of have to estimate it because there's not a nice simple right angle here that we can line up with. So keep folding it around until you think it looks about right. I'm going to go with there. Okay, it's roughly perpendicular is mine. Maybe you can get yours better. Try and make the next leg about the same, because it will help your crow a lot when they're standing up to have symmetrical legs. So there we go, there's our little legs sticking out. Now we're going to start shaping the actual body. So let's flip this over. So we're looking at kind of the back of the legs, see? Then we're going to bring down this big flap, leave up this small triangle and this flap, and instead fold the whole thing over itself. So we're folding the body, this is the body, in half. Got our feet sticking forward. Now we just need to shape the head. So at the moment our crow has no face, and that's kind of creepy. So take this long bit here, and we're going to do similar to what we did with the owl. We're making a reverse fold. This is a classic origami technique for making a bird face and beak. So this is where again you get to kind of choose, so pull it around. I kind of want my bird, my crow face kind of pointing forward like this, so I'm going to look roughly how it's going to be once I've reversed it as well. So push that down, make this fold nice and crisp. It's a crease that I'm going to be using for my reverse fold. If you can, check the crease on both sides. Now we just slightly open it up and then pop this inside. So these folds were poking up before, we now need to poke them down and tuck the head in that fold. Just going to show that again. So we had it like this, making the crease, unfold it, open it up and pop this down, folding back along those lines. And then we've got a little face poking out. Just go over the back of your crow's body on its little spine to make it nice and sharp, because that will hold it together, and hopefully this will now stand up. Yay! I always think it's a mark of a good piece of origami if it can stand on its own. That's what I like. So there we go, my little green crow. Have a go at home, and let's keep increasing the challenge of our origami shapes. Hopefully I'll see you all very soon. Bye!